Now on 4 News Now at 6, say goodbye to the triple-digit heat. I'm tracking cooler weather on the way. I'll show you how much the temperatures will drop in your first alert forecast.
And summer camps are making changes on the fly because of the heat. We'll show you how sports camps are keeping kids on the field.
And distrust is growing in our election system. We debunk the rumors of ramped-up fraud with mail-in voting. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Our streak of record-breaking heat is about to come to an end. Stay alert, though. We still have plenty of hot weather on the way. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. We have team coverage tonight. Our Jordan Smith and Hunter Bertram are looking at how summer camps are adjusting to the heat and the signs of heat illness you need to be on the lookout for.
Meteorologist Matt Gray is also tracking the historical significance of our current heat wave. But we begin with Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker, who's tracking a slight cool down on the way.
It is going to be a cool down, but it is still going to be hot. But today, our warming trend peaked at 104 degrees. That was our high temperature in Spokane today. The record high, 102 back in 1975. This is the third day in a row that we've set a new temperature record, and our third day in a row of triple-digit heat. Here's a look at high temperatures across the region today. Wouldn't rule out one of these locations adding a degree, but for the most part, this is where we've peaked. 108 in Omak, 108 in Lewiston. We stayed in the 90s at Bonners Ferry, Sandpoint, St. Mary's, and at Lookout Pass, but it was 104 in Grand Coulee and did get to 100 in Coeur d'Alene today. We are going to be out of the triple digits in almost all locations tomorrow. 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be cooler, in quotes, because we're still going to be 10 degrees or more above average. We'll be in the mid-90s for at least a week. Hazy at times from wildfires burning around the region and not a lot of breeze to stir that up. And there's no sign, unfortunately, of rain in the 7-day outlook. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. And because of the hot and dry weather, the Washington Department of Natural Resources is implementing a burn ban on all forest land. The order bans campfires, the use of charcoal briquettes, and prescribed burns until September 30th or until fire danger lowers. Summer camps are doing their best to power through this scorching heat. Sports camps in particular have had to make some adjustments on the fly.
Jordan Smith met with some sports camp directors today to find out what they're doing to keep these camps safe and also fun for the kids.
Here at the 90 Plus Project Soccer Camp, they moved training up a half hour today, trying to beat this record-breaking heat. 65 kids on hand, sprinting, scoring, trying to stay hydrated before those temperatures really sank in.
I always saw the forecast and was like, okay, this is going to be a toasty week.
For parents who are constantly working to keep their kids active during the summer camps are a pretty good option. But the forecast isn't looking too exciting or welcoming for the kids trying to sharpen their game or just have fun at camp this week. The 90 Plus Project is trying to kick things off earlier in the morning for the duration of camp and is constantly calling for water breaks and sunscreen reminders. Day one was a learning curve for the kids going full speed.
It's definitely first day where it's like, okay, we're running out of water pretty quickly. So we had maybe some issues there, but the kids learned quickly that they need to bring pails and pails and gallons of water, and they certainly did their part. So lots of water. We're good to go.
Other programs like the Skyhawks Sports Academy build their schedule around the sun. Athletes are hard at work in the morning, then poolside in the afternoon.
For the first half of the day is that rigorous skill building, and the second half of the day is you get to jump into the pool and have fun and make friends.
But if the sweltering heat becomes too much, there's always the backup plan to move things indoors. The YMCA did exactly that, moving their campers indoors during the afternoons for this week, trying to evade the excessive heat, turning their gym into a cool oasis for kids. Each program we met with giving an honest effort to keep their campers safe and camp fun. In Spokane, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Again, want to remind you this extreme heat is no joke. Heat is actually the #1 weather-related killer in the U.S. The CDC says it kills about 1,300 people every year in the U.S. The key to keeping your family safe is being able to recognize the warning signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
What happens is we don't even realize that we're getting overheated and a little dehydrated. So heat stroke, if untreated and if very late treated, can lead to seizures and even death.
We'll explain the major differences between the two coming up tonight at 6:30.
The Spokane Fire Department says ashes from a charcoal grill caused this fire that destroyed a house, leaving 4 people without a place to sleep. It happened near North Lindeke Street and West Decatur Avenue. Investigators determined the fire was accidental, saying the people living there used the grill earlier that night and left the coals to burn out naturally. The department says ashes from the grill ignited a pile of dead leaves nearby.
Less than 2 miles away, the body of an elderly man was found inside of a camper that caught fire early this morning. This fire happened in the front yard of a home near North Bemis and Crown. The fire department says the fire was caused by electrical issues. Well, more and more, summer includes dangerous heat and severe storms that can wreak havoc on your home, including your plumbing. Metal pipes can expand and contract and, over time, start to leak.
You want to inspect your plumbing routinely or have a plumber do it on a recurring basis. You can also install leak detectors, which will let you know immediately if there is a leak. They can be a little bit expensive to install, but save thousands in the long run.
Taking the right steps now can mean less stress on your wallet. See what else you can do to protect your roof, your air conditioning, and your wallet from this extreme heat tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest starting at 5 a.m.
Well, some big changes could be coming to Idaho's election system.
When you'll be able to decide the future of primaries in the Gem State coming up.
Everyone knows mail-in ballots are a disaster. It'll be fixed, it'll be rigged.
And we investigate to see if there's any truth to the concerns over widespread fraud with mail-in voting.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Save your greed!
Embrace the magic, celebrate friendship, and share the joy at Disney's Frozen the Musical.
Coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts, July 24th through August 4th. Get tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
As sheriff, I arrested rioters, rapists, and mass murderers. Locked up human traffickers who preyed on women and children. On my watch, everyone was accountable. Despite being the Attorney General for 12 years, Bob Ferguson does not take responsibility for the rapid increase in crime and homelessness, businesses moving out of state, and jobs lost. And he thinks he deserves a promotion?
Dave Reichert.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I am in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be here.
Thanks, Road Warrior.
We get it. It's hard to say goodbye to your car. AutoNation will make it easy. We'll buy your car for top dollar. And with over 25,000 used vehicles available, AutoNation can help you say hello to your next car.
Hi, they assigned me to work with you, Miss Ray, but you can call me Miranda. You're me if you take the next step. How? Work here during the day, go to school at night. It's so worth it.
Face your future with Whitworth University.
Children's Miracle Network provides hope and life-saving services to children undergoing treatment. The nonprofit relies on donations to help kids like Abigail.
Abigail was born with a heart defect that required open heart surgery. Thanks to community support, Children's Miracle Network was alongside her family every step of the way.
Thursday, July 18th, for every drink sold at Spokane area Dutch Bros, Numerical will donate $1 up to $10,000 to Children's Miracle Network. Let's make miracles happen one cup at a time. Cheers!
They walked the entire length of the Grand Canyon.
Over 100 degrees every day and night.
Next, Inside Edition, it took them a year. And it was like walking inside an oven. How they faced disaster.
I was concerned that I would not survive.
Then, the Alec Baldwin trial. Will his volatile personality backfire on the jury? Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Welcome back. There are only 17 weeks until the 2024 elections. Since the 2020 election, there have been growing distrust in our voting system.
A recent study by Pew Research asked Republicans in 2018 if they believe voters should have the option to vote early or by absentee ballot without having an excuse. 57% of them said yes. But when they asked Republicans the same question in 2024, as you can see here, only 37% said yes. And as you can also see, Democrats' views didn't really change.
Marissa Rio joins us now in studio to tell us whether this growing distrust in our voting system is valid.
Thank you, Kirsten and Derek. What the Pew Research study also revealed was whether or not you believe voting early and voting by mail are safe depends largely on your political affiliation. But what sparked this distrust in our system? And is there any evidence to back it up?
Everyone knows mail-in ballots are a disaster. It'll be fixed. It'll be rigged.
The Associated Press posted this video in 2020. Donald Trump has also taken to social media to attack the security of mail-in voting. So what's the reality? In a report done by a more left-leaning organization, the Brennan Center for Justice, they reviewed elections that had been studied for voter fraud and found incident rates between 0.0003% and 0.0025%. Washington Post analyzed data from 3 vote-by-mail states and found 372 possible cases of double voting or voting on behalf of a dead person out of about 14.6 million votes cast in the 2016 and 2018 general elections. Here in Washington, we are a vote-by-mail state, and Heritage Foundation, a more right-leaning organization, documented 12 cases of voter fraud between 2004 and 2010 in Washington. Within that time period, nearly 11 million votes were cast, revealing again that there's not much evidence of voter fraud. In Idaho, you have to request an absentee ballot, and you don't need an excuse. And the Kootenai County Elections Office say they haven't had any issues with voter fraud.
When the signatures are being compared, it's not being done by a computer program. It's being done by a physical person here in our office looking at those signatures. So it really is every effort we can make to ensure the process is secure but also fair for every voter.
You can find the entire Pew Research study and the links to where I found all of this information on our website at KXLY.com. In studio, Marissa Rio for News Now.
Well, in Idaho, if you want to vote by mail, you'll need to request an absentee ballot. The last day to do that is October 25th by 5 p.m. But the process is easy. On Vote Idaho's website, you can request an online form or a PDF form and mail it in. The elections office will verify it, and you should receive your absentee ballot within 7 to 10 days. You can return the completed ballot by mail to an official elections drop box or your county elections office by 8 p.m. on Election Day. An excuse is not required.
This November, Idahoans will decide the future of how the Gem State chooses its candidates for the primary election.
Right now, Idaho is a closed primary, meaning there are 2 separate races happening at the same time. One for the best Republican candidates and another for the best Democratic candidates. If voters approve the initiative in November, the state would transition to an open primary, meaning all candidates would appear on the same ballot regardless of party affiliation. Then the top 4 candidates would move on to the general election, similar to how primaries are handled here in Washington.
And this year's election will reshape the Inland Northwest. We want to focus on the races that will impact you. So between now and Election Day, share your questions with us, and it will help drive our coverage. We'll make sure that you are well informed when you cast your vote. You can find the place to submit those questions online. Just head to KXLY.com/forthepeople.
You can also take out your phone right now and scan this QR code with your camera. It will take you to our website where you can sign up for our brand new For the People newsletter. We'll send the stories we're working on right to your inbox. Then you can read them when it's convenient for you. Well, Spokane is in the midst of an opioid crisis. One part of the crisis that's often overlooked is the impact on infants who are exposed to substances during their mother's pregnancy. But a new piece of legislation is pushing for more research on the prevalence of this issue.
This act was inspired by Maddie's Place, which is a local organization. Alexandra Cohenyard spoke with some parents there today and shares why more facilities like this are needed across the country.
It was really amazing. I honestly wouldn't be where I'm at today without it.
Roselle was planning to give her child up for adoption. Her daughter had been exposed to fentanyl. For her, coming to Maddie's Place has been life-changing. Maddie's Place is one of only 4 pediatric transitional care facilities in the country. They inspired the Miracle Act, a new piece of legislation pushing for more research on the prevalence of neonatal abstinence syndrome, also known as NAS. Legislators state the main goal of the act is to ensure Congress and all 50 50 states have the life-saving data they need to come up with the comprehensive solutions we need to reverse the crisis that is completely out of hand.
I don't think it's getting taken serious enough, and people aren't taking places like this serious enough. Their babies need it. There's still babies being born with addiction every day, so we need more places like this all the time, I mean, everywhere.
David Aga was an addict when he first walked through the doors of Maddie's Place. He is now clean and works to spread the mission of the organization, providing nurturing medical care for both infants experiencing withdrawals due to prenatal substance exposure and their parents.
This is one of the rooms at which a parent can stay with their newborn child. Now, even though Maddie's Place is focused on the baby's needs, they also place a large importance on the mother's needs.
Now, with the Miracle Act, there is hope of bringing this type of care all across the country, giving people like David and Stephanie the support they need to continue being the best parents for their children.
I know that if for some reason I were to relapse, or if I just was having a bad day or just needed somebody to take my baby because I just couldn't handle it anymore, I know I could call any one of these people in this building and they would be right there for me if they could take her. So, and that is a huge, huge part of my success as well.
Reporting in Spokane, Alexandra Cohen-Yarts, 4 News Now.
Good stuff. This evening, it is going to remain hot right on through sunset, 99 degrees at 7 o'clock. We'll still be in the upper 80s at 9. You may notice the haze on the horizon. That is from a number of wildfires burning around the region. 81 at 11. I'll be back with that cool down in the 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Sports on 4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Some injury lawyers you see on TV aren't even from here. They could be in Texas, California,
or even worse, Florida.
Local representation matters.
Good luck getting attention from 1,000 miles away.
Call the advocates.
We're here for you, not way over there for you.
Okay, everyone. Our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
Ensure with 27 vitamins and minerals, nutrients for immune health, and Ensure Complete with 30 grams of protein.
Some days I don't know what's harder, herding cattle or 3 kids.
Really, Mom?
I'm Jacqueline Maycumber. Our hands are always pretty full and a little dirty, but we make it work like so many in Eastern Washington.
In D.C., Jacqueline Maycumber will work for us. A former law enforcement officer, a rancher, a conservative. She'll seal the border and won't take any bull from Biden.
I'm Jacqueline Maycumber, and I approve this ad.
The Gamma knife we have here in Spokane is the state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line Gamma knife that is available in the world.
The brain is high-priced real estate. It's very important for cognition, physical function. You only want to hit the tumor and give very, very little dose to the surrounding brain.
It's the only machine capable of delivering this type of precision and with almost no interruption in any of the other treatments that they need.
Not only is this the best radiation technology, but it's delivered by a caring team of professionals who have been doing this for decades.
Respect, protect, pay essential grocery store workers.
Because my coworkers and I stood united with our union, UFCW 3000.
We just negotiated a record-setting contract for the essential grocery store workers at Albertsons, Fred Meyer, and Safeway.
We are able to secure funding for workforce development and training and pension contribution increases.
If you'd like a strong union at your workplace, contact us here.
You know what I've learned from playing soccer? Play as a team, outwit your opponent, and never give up.
You know what I've learned from being a lawyer? Play as a team, outwit your opponent, never give up.
No wonder we work so well together.
Yeah.
I noticed last night when I finally was able to take the dogs out that everybody came out at once. And right around 8:39, there were joggers and walkers and dogs everywhere because it is way too hot right now to go out and enjoy your evening. It is 103 still in Spokane, in downtown, in 9 Mile, in the upper 90s in Cheney and Spangle, as well as in Coeur d'Alene. It is 97 in Spirit Lake and 101 presently in Deer Park. There's even warmer weather down in Lewiston where it's 106 right now in Omak, and 98, as I mentioned, in Coeur d'Alene. It is so very dry as well. There is still a red flag warning for the western portions of the Columbia Basin and along the east slopes for the dry and breezy weather. Relative humidity is only 10% in Spokane. That is desert-like relative humidity, only 8% in Colville, and don't see any real improvement in terms of any moisture in our forecast. In your hourly forecast tomorrow, we'll start the day off at 64 degrees. There is that haze on the horizon. You've probably noticed it. It is that seasonal haze from a variety of small fires burning around the region. 73 by 9 a.m. Notice the winds just a little bit higher than they have been this week. Today was the first day we finally got some movement in the air. It's not enough to transport the smoke out of the region, but maybe if you're out on the pickleball court tomorrow around 1 and that 10-mile-per-hour breeze picks up, that'll cool you down a little bit. 95 our high temperature tomorrow, and that compares to an average high of 83. So even with the cool down, we're more than 10 degrees above average. Around the region, highs tomorrow, we will still make a run at 100 in Omak, Grand Coulee, the Tri-Cities, 103 in Lewiston, but it's 90s across the rest of the region. No 80s on the map, but I don't know when we're going to see the 80s again, even though that is our average high. But at least we will not be breaking records. 90 tomorrow in Spirit Lake, 96 in Deer Park, as well as in Spokane Valley, and 95 in Cheney. Meanwhile, our temperature trend over the next 7 days does not have a lot of variety to it. This white line right here is our average high, and we will remain above average through the 7-day forecast, just hovering in the mid-90s for the foreseeable future. Our 8 to 14-day outlook shows that the hottest air, the temperatures that are the most above average, shifting off to the east. We're bringing in some cooler conditions onto the west coast, but not much of that is going to make its way across the Cascades. So we're still in that above average range, but just not as far above average. But we'll be in the mid-90s. No precipitation, overnight lows in the 60s through the 7-day forecast. Coming up in the next half hour, I have some Wildlife Wednesday photos for you. The animals are out trying to stay cool too, and got some bears and all kinds of things coming up. Derek?
All right, Chris, sounds fun. Well, grab your cowboy boots and hats because the rodeo is coming to Cheney this weekend.
The 3-day event kicks off on Friday at 7 o'clock at the Weimar Arena. It'll feature all the classics like bull riding, barrel racing, and plenty of roping. For a full list of events and a link to buy tickets, look for this story on KXLY.com.
Well, our triple-digit heat is coming to an end, but we still have plenty of warm weather on the way that can take a toll on your body. We'll explain the signs to look out for if someone you know is experiencing heat illness.
We need additional assistance filling in pay gaps, and students need assistance in funding their dreams of flight.
And a push to help recruit more people to the air travel industry. How U.S. officials plan to help fill open positions as more people are taking to the skies.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's a good day for a drive. Great day for a deal.
Perfection Tire carries a full line of Cooper tires with advanced safety features, warranties, and competitive pricing.
Save even more with Cooper Tire rebates going on now. Nobody beats perfection.
It's Coeur d'Alene Casino's Core Stars Entertainment Series. Tesla's bluesy, soulful rock sound still roaring and soaring live Thursday, July 25th. I love you. Don't miss Parmalee, contemporary country hitmakers, live Thursday, September 12th. Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features up-and-coming MMA stars battling it out live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, October 10th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or CDA.com to buy your tickets now.
Winning is just the beginning.
Hi, I'm Mark with Spokane Rain Gutter. We offer Gutter Helmet. It's a national product maintained and installed by your local Spokane Rain Gutter right here in town.
Gutter Helmet comes with a triple lifetime warranty and financing is available. SpokaneRainGutter.com.
Now a joke from York's Fresh Murder. What did the tomato say to his son when they were racing? Catch up!
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? X marks the spot. Now when you get Xfinity Internet for 12 months, you can add the new Stream Saver for $15. That includes Netflix, Peacock, and Apple TV+. That's Xfinity Internet and Stream Saver for just $35 a month. All your favorites, all in one place, all for one low price. For more watching and less spending, X marks the spot. Switch to Xfinity, the network made for streaming, and bring on the good stuff.
Don't miss Frozen, the musical audiences and critics are melting for. This is
Disney's Frozen is coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts, July 24th through August 4th. Don't be left out in the cold. Get tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Regular visits to your local Perfection Tire can ensure your car's safety and dependability.
With factory recommended maintenance, you increase your fuel efficiency as well as maintain your vehicle's value.
Nobody beats perfection.
4 News Now is brought to you by Perfection Tire.
In news around the Northwest, the teenager accused of shooting and killing 13-year-old Jada Woods Johnson is now facing murder charges. According to court documents, Woods Johnson was walking around the Alderwood Mall when she was accidentally killed.
The 16-year-old accused of killing her is now being charged as an adult. According to court documents, Samuel Giza brought a gun to the Alderwood Mall in Linwood. A fight broke out between 2 groups of teens. At some point during that fight, the 16-year-old was punched in the face and began chasing the person who hit him while pulling out the gun. The report says Giza was aiming at the person who hit him but missed and hit Woods Johnson. The teen was out on bond, but with new charges being filed, a warrant is now out for his arrest. As of now, he still is not in custody.
And around the nation, more people are taking to the skies this summer, and that means airports need more personnel to keep up with demand.
Just days after the TSA set a daily record for the passenger screening, a House subcommittee looked at new federal provisions aimed at boosting recruitment and retention. CNN's Karen Caifa breaks down their plan.
Demand for U.S. air travel is soaring.
8 or 9 of the 10 busiest travel days ever have occurred since May 23rd of this year.
As passenger volume has rebounded from the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of essential aviation workers has lagged.
One of the biggest challenges we have right now is with ATC, air traffic control, and the controllers.
On Wednesday, aviation experts joined a House Aviation Subcommittee to discuss how to implement safety and staffing provisions in the Federal Aviation Administration Reauthorization Act signed by President Joe Biden in May. That includes filling 3,000 vacancies among the nation's air traffic controllers.
Shortage of these vital members of the workforce have resulted in subpar experiences across the ecosystem of aviation.
The panel also highlighted obstacles for the next generation of pilots, especially training costs.
We need additional assistance filling in pay gaps, and students need assistance in funding their dreams of flight.
Katie Nastro of the travel website Going says despite the convergence of lingering staffing shortfalls versus heavy passenger traffic, air travel fared well during the busy July 4th stretch.
Coming out of one of the busiest time periods that we've seen on record, July 4th, and not seeing any mass cancellations or really significant delays by the airlines is a good sign that airlines are actually keeping pace.
But lawmakers planning for future stresses on the system.
This is just going to grow greater and greater
as passenger volume keeps climbing. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
Well, 2 astronauts have been stranded for weeks on the International Space Station due to issues with Boeing's new spacecraft.
When they could return home, coming up.
And you might be surprised how hot today was compared to the historic record. A look at the past and the future of extreme heat in the inland Northwest coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Arby's Deluxe Burger. Have you ever seen such a well-crafted burger? Oh, Arby's Big Cheesy Bacon Burger. Have you ever seen such a... Arby's, we have the meats.
Honeymoon phase over already, huh?
You know, these things normally take a while to figure out, and these
We get you compensated fairly and only get paid after you win.
One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
Oof, gotta get rid of this.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh?
It helps remove odors 3 times better than detergent alone.
It worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh.
Dupixent can help people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. So this is better, even this. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Tell your doctor right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
Arby's has let other burger joints have their little fun. Playtime is over. The meat professionals will take it from here. Arby's, we have the meats.
Next DT, only we're with Kerry Washington breaking scandal news.
When Tony Goldwyn tells me to do something, the answer is yes.
Plus, TV great Barbara Eden.
Next, E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. A vulnerable man sent to Eastern State Hospital to get help. His family thought he would be safe.
He was brutally attacked.
Is anything being done to stop it from happening again? The Mental Hospital Murders. Thursday only on 4 News Now at 6. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, here is a live look at an extremely hot night in downtown Spokane with temps currently sitting at about 103 degrees, one off the record we set earlier today.
That's gross. I'm just going to say it.
Gross.
I'm a sunshine girl, but that is not anyone's cup of tea. Chris, we do have a cool down on the way, but it's really not much. It's nothing to brag about.
No, I think fans of hot weather will be more comfortable in the mid-90s than 103, which is our current temperature in downtown as well as at the airport. At 9 Mile, it's 101 in Liberty Lake and 101 in Post Falls. Now, it did get up to 100 in Coeur d'Alene today, but you've cooled down to 98, and as well as at Hayden, Spirit Lake, Spangle, all in the 90s now. And we're going to see more 90s that for our highs in the forecast. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be cooler tomorrow. We're going to be in the mid-90s for a solid week and likely beyond as our temperatures are still trending above average. It will be hazy at times from aerial wildfires, and there is no sign of rain in the forecast. Here is a look at your Thursday planner. A cooler night tonight. We stayed in the lower 70s overnight last night. If you were having an exceptionally hard time sleeping, that is why. 64 to start the day. We're heading up to a high of 95 with blue skies and sunshine. That compares to an average high of 83 degrees. I will be back with your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, extreme heat like this is almost a summertime routine now. This year makes it 5 years in a row with multiple days in the hundreds here in Spokane.
And with heat records falling every year, how does that heat compare to years past? And what does it say about years to come? Meteorologist Matt Gray is here with some answers.
Here we go. High temperatures in Spokane today peaked at 104. That not only sets a record today, but it puts this as one of the top 15 hottest days in Spokane's history. It also means that now 1/3 of those 15 days, those hottest 15 days on records, we got the top 10 here on the screen, in this city, they've happened in the past 10 years. 1/3 of those in the past 10 years. But wait, there's more. 10 years ago, Spokane averaged close to 100-degree day per year, but in the last 10 years, that average is now 3, and here's why. In the past 5 years, more 100-degree days on record than the 20 years that we had beforehand. So it has been very hot so far in the 2020s. What we understand about how hot it gets here in the summer, look, it's being entirely rewritten right now. And that brings us to the obvious question. What comes next? Well, as our climate keeps warming, what should we expect out of our summer temperatures if nothing else changes? And you can look at charts and numbers all you want, but there's another way, maybe a more interesting way to peer into the future. There was a study done in 2022 by the Climate Central Group. They attempted to kind of figure out in what climate in future decades would feel like by doing something that's pretty inventive, comparing future summer temperatures in one city to what's happening right now in a different one. You can see the one for Yakima on your screen. So by 2060, this study says Spokane is likely going to warm up enough for our summer temperatures to be more like Provo, Utah. For reference, they average about 10 days a year with triple-digit heat. So some markers for the future. But that got me thinking. There's a place that's a lot closer than Utah that could give us a little bit of a glimpse 40 years into the future. You may know some folks from there at the Tri-Cities. They average 10 days in the hundreds each summer, and an average summer high almost exactly as warm as that Climate Central study expects Spokane to be at in the 2060s. For reference, we're in the low 80s for an average high for June, July, and August combined right now. Now, if you want to see where summer temperatures like Spokane could end up in by around 2100, we've got that up now on KXLY.com.
Peering into the future. Thanks, Matt. Well, we've been telling you for days that this heat is no joke. Heat is actually the #1 weather-related killer in the U.S., and that's because when temperatures soar, our bodies have a hard time regulating their own temperatures. Let's get to Hunter Bertram with what goes on inside of our bodies when exposed to extreme heat.
Heat exhaustion really is that feeling of being very overheated and feeling sweaty and red-faced and really thirsty.
Normally, fluids can help with heat exhaustion. However, when you feel that way, it's crucial to pay attention to how your body is feeling internally.
Heat stroke is the point at which your body can no longer regulate its temperature. We get really worried about that. Is an emergency.
An emergency that, if not treated as soon as possible, can lead to seizures and even death.
If they are a little confused, if they're no longer sweaty, if they're less responsive, absolutely call 911.
The heat isn't evenly distributed in the community.
Where you live can also put you at a greater risk, with temperature differences up to 14 degrees, depending on your neighborhood.
And in the East Central neighborhood, one of those communities researchers have found that deals with those higher temperatures, and that's because of the concrete and the developed environment.
Gonzaga researchers say in Spokane, it comes down to legacy that affects heat disparities.
Legacy of that is that we actually have these decisions that then get sort of embodied in the infrastructure of our communities.
That infrastructure means?
So those neighborhoods that have less green space are a lot warmer, and that means those communities are more at risk.
And some living in these affected communities have no idea they're at a higher risk.
You know, I did not know that this was the hottest neighborhood in the city, but it's hot.
Matthew is beating the heat with a window unit. During the hot day, he says,
I know it's the heat can take it out of you, but get creative, get outside and enjoy it. We only get it a little bit of time of the year.
And if you're struggling to cool down and looking for resources, head to KXLY.com. In Spokane, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Well, you may have to change your plans this weekend because a popular swim spot in North Idaho is closing for a triathlon. According to the city of Hayden, Honeysuckle Beach and Boat Launch will be closed from 10 p.m. Friday through 11 a.m. Saturday. Any drivers in the area may be rerouted around the race that starts at 7 a.m.
In Post Falls, 10 people are now in need of a home because their house caught on fire this morning. Investigators say the fire started in the garage and spread to the home. Because of the extreme heat, firefighters had to call in for backup so they could take turns battling the flames. No one was injured. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
More than 300,000 Chryslers are being recalled because of an issue with their airbags. Federal safety regulators said the front airbag may not deploy during a crash because of a faulty seatbelt sensor. Impacted models include the Jeep Renegade and the Fiat 500e. The automaker said notification letters will be mailed to drivers starting August 22nd.
The U.S. Marshals Service is now doubling the reward for a Spokane man suspected in an armed home invasion. The reward is now $1,500 for information on the location of Adam Lee Syjon. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says he attacked 2 people with a knife or a club. Anyone with information is asked to contact the marshal's office.
Back in March of 2022, we first told you about a 5-time convicted felon at Eastern State Hospital who attacked another patient. We were given surveillance footage from that day, and we want to warn you, some of this video may be difficult to watch.
70-year-old Daniel Zelmer died from the attack, and now his family wants the state of Washington to pay for it. In the surveillance footage, you can see Zelmer coaxed from his room and then attacked in the hallway until he was on the floor in a coma. He died at the hospital several days later. Lukens and Annis, a Spokane law firm, are the lawyers representing the family in this case. This is the firm's 3rd death case against Eastern State Hospital, and say it's become a concerning trend.
And all of this occurred in a communal area and without any supervision over the individual. It is a pattern. It absolutely is a pattern. And that's what this lawsuit is about. Primarily, it's about helping the estate and the family obtain some closure and making sure this doesn't happen again. But there is a pattern.
Now, the family of Zelmer wants to make sure this doesn't happen again and put an end to that pattern. Watch Natalie Grant's special report tomorrow at 6 o'clock on 4 News Now. We're just about a month away from Washington State football camp, where we'll get to see the Cougs back in action for the first time since the spring.
And tonight is the first time we're able to hear from head coach Jake Dickert and a couple players since the Pac-12 has completely dissolved.
Yeah, guys, that's right. Today was Pac-12 Media Day in Las Vegas, but it looks and feels a bit different than usual. We'll show you why after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Consign Furniture.
Everyone in this house is a liar.
I am the best liar.
My relative
won an Oscar.
Emmy.
Trust nobody.
Oh my God!
Claim to Fame season premiere tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
It's Click It RV's lowest price guarantee sale going on now at your neighborhood Click It RV.
Be a winner like me and get to Click It RV.
With 0 down and no payments till October, now is the time to own your dream RV.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you going to be mad, bro?
Get never before deep discounts on trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. Plus the best selection, highest trade-in values ever, and a lifetime warranty. Nobody beats the discounts at Click It RV.
I'm Richard Sherman, and we guarantee it.
1 mile past the Y and Newport Highway.
Exploring different regions throughout the Northwest and beyond can be fun and educational. 4 News Now would like to showcase these locations with Travel for Adventures.
Are you ready for an unforgettable adventure? Look no further than the Lewis Clark Valley.
Start with a narrated jet boat ride on the Snake River through Hell's Canyon, North America's deepest river gorge. Cruise by rugged basalt cliffs, surrounded by a variety of wildlife and ancient petroglyphs.
After your day of adventure, explore the Northwest's first wine-growing region. Wind down and relax among the vines while you sip a variety of award-winning wines. Indulge your taste buds with fresh cuisine at a charming, locally owned restaurant.
Immerse yourself in an authentic cultural experience with the Nez Perce. Dive into the past and drive the historic Lewis and Clark Trail following the same rivers they did.
Experience the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation in the Lewis Clark Valley.
Discover more places you might like to visit. Go to KXLY.com/travel4adventures.
It's hard saying goodbye to your car. So AutoNation makes it easy to say hello to your next one. Shop over 25,000 used vehicles now at AutoNation.com. Plus, we'll buy your car for top dollar. Visit AutoNation.com today.
This summer, don't sweat it. Bill's Heating and AC has you covered with the best prices on air conditioners and heat pumps. Guaranteed. With over 3,000 5-star reviews, we're the locally owned company you can trust. Our expert technicians provide fast, reliable service to ensure your home stays comfortable all season long. And should you ever have an issue, we're open 7 days a week to provide immediate help. So what are you waiting for? Call Bill's Heating and AC for your free quote today.
The end of the Pac-12 conference, as fans have known it, is gone. And although Washington State and Oregon State still vow to operate under the Pac-12 name, things are looking completely different.
And that starts with Media Day in Las Vegas today. Normally, a packed house with 12 teams now features just the last two standing. Our Sydney Berger is in studio tonight with how Washington State and Oregon State are trying to shake things up in Las Vegas.
Yeah, guys, we can call it a little bit more intimate. It's a little bit more low-key than usual. While previous Pac-12 Media Days have been in Las Vegas or even LA before, this one definitely looks different for Washington State. WSU brought head coach Jake Dickert along with Kyle Williams and Kyle Thornton to Vegas today with the hopes of garnering as much attention as possible in their broken two-team conference. They're calling it After Hours with the Cougs and Beavs. Although it's seeming to be a more untraditional media day as there aren't as many opportunities to hear from players and coaches like we're used to. However, the Mountain West Conference is also having their media day in Vegas right now. WSU football entered a scheduling agreement with the Mountain West to give the conference time to rebuild into something more dominant than just two teams. And the first real look at Team USA and the roster filled with some of the biggest NBA stars will be showcased tonight with the first exhibition game for USA this summer. In the midst of training camp in Vegas, USA and Team Canada will get the chance to show just a piece of what we can expect from the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Although USA is favored to win gold in Paris this year, they're still looking to show off tonight against Canada and redeem themselves from their loss in the FIBA World Cup last year, losing to Canada for the bronze and finishing in 4th place. Assistant coach Mark Few says he's confident this roster of what he calls modern-day icons Team USA has put together is good enough to get the job done. However, Canada's roster is stacked with that talent as well, including two of Few's former players, and Andrew Nembhard and Kelly Olynyk.
You're rooting for him, but then obviously you want to win the game really, really bad. So, and then obviously with Andrew on there now, and you're rooting for those guys in every other game and pulling for them. Canada's got a really, really talented roster.
USA and Canada face off in just about an hour at a sold-out T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And former Washington State Cougar Steve Gleason is set to receive the Arthur Ashe Courage Award at the ESPY Awards tomorrow night. After his time with the Cougs, he also played with the New Orleans Saints in the NFL. Gleason has been battling ALS for about 15 years now. You can watch Gleason accept his award at the ESPYs tomorrow night at 8 p.m. right here on KXLY. Derek, Kirsten, send it back to you guys.
That's going to be awesome to see.
And emotional.
Yeah. Well, two astronauts who should have been back on Earth weeks ago spoke out for the first time today from space.
They say they're confident that Boeing Starliner can bring them back home safely despite a series of breakdowns. ABC's Alexis Christoforous has more, including when the astronauts may return to Earth.
In their first press conference from orbit since arriving at the International Space Station more than a month ago, the two astronauts say they're confident Boeing Starliner can return them home safely.
I feel confident that if we had to, if there was a problem with the International Space Station, we can get in our spacecraft and we can undock, talk to our team, and figure out the best way to come home.
The pair have been confined to the space station for weeks after their June 5th launch on Boeing's first manned space flight, and NASA says there is still no return date on the horizon. The historic mission years behind schedule and billions of dollars over budget. But helium leaks in the propulsion system and faulty thrusters turned what was supposed to be a week-long mission into an indefinite stay in space. The veteran astronauts have been living and working on the space station, helping the expedition crew with research and maintenance. NASA officials insisting the astronauts are not stranded in space and that there's no race against the clock to bring them home, saying they're safe and have plenty of supplies in orbit.
We're fully certified for all aspects of life aboard the space station here.
NASA officials and Boeing engineers now focused on those faulty thrusters, conducting tests on the ground in New Mexico. Officials say they won't target a return date until testing is complete, which they say could take weeks.
That mantra you've heard, failure is not an option. That's why we are staying here now. We trust that the tests that we're doing are the ones that we need to do to get the right answers, to give us the data that we need to come back.
NASA officials say they see no reason why the astronauts cannot return to Earth on Boeing's Starliner, and they plan to hold another press conference from orbit with the astronauts before they return home. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
This will be our last day in the triple digits in most locations. There's still a few spots where you'll see some hundreds. 104 was the high in Spokane today, 100 in Coeur d'Alene. I'll have your Wildlife Wednesday photos and the 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
We're not brother and sister.
We're not husband and wife.
She's not my daughter.
He's not just arm candy.
Hey.
What we are, we're advocates.
And so if you've been injured, we fight for you.
You deserve more than just a law firm.
You deserve an advocate.
My name is Stevie, and I work for my dad, Steve Stikowski, at SGX Jet Boats here in Orfino, Idaho, where we specialize in a shallow water aluminum jet boat. For us, it's more than just business, it's a legacy. You realize that it's all worth it because you're starting to see everything come to fruition. All of the hard work has paid off, and P1FCU is able to provide us with that security in knowing that our legacy is safe with them.
This is not any flooring store. This is Carpet Barn. Unleash the luxury with the newest trends in flooring. Guess what? Carpet Barn has blowout prices that will leave you floored. That's not all. Enjoy free delivery and free quotes to kickstart your home transformation. At Carpet Barn, we're not just selling flooring, we're delivering comfort and style right to your doorstep. Upgrade your space today. You and your floors deserve the best.
Carpet Barn, where quality meets affordability.
So what do you think about these?
Yeah, we're going to take...
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Don't relocate, renovate. As your needs change, update your bathroom with aging and accessibility solutions designed to keep the space safe and stylish. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
It's time to seize your summer in a new Toyota from Findlay Downtown Toyota. Whether you're camping out in a new RAV4 or pulling a boat with a Toyota Tundra truck, nothing says summer better than a new Toyota. Plus, every vehicle sold comes with a 1-year, 15,000-mile maintenance plan. So this summer, if you're looking for a new ride, stop by Findlay Downtown Toyota and we'll show you some more choices. I crack myself up. Findlay Toyota's downtown.
Donnie, the advocates excel in car, truck, and motorcycle cases, resulting in millions of dollars for our clients.
That makes me sad.
Sad? Why sad?
Just thinking about the ones that don't bring their cases to us.
Oh, that is sad.
4 News Now is brought to you by Spokane Rain Gutter.
We'll take a look at this video of the Tacoma Police Department rescuing 2 people and a cat from a boat fire. This happened on the 4th of July in Commencement Bay. Thankfully, no one was injured, just one probably scared and very wet cat there.
Yeah, why bring a cat on a boat?
Some cats like.
Yeah.
My Instagram feed is nothing but cats, and yeah, they go on boats. Mine don't. But
people take their dogs on boats all the time, right? Why not the cats?
True. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, all creatures, great and small, are looking for water these days to try and stay cool. It's Wildlife Wednesday. Okay, today's theme, I'm going with babies and then grown-ups, and I'm starting off with these itty-bitty baby hummingbirds. This is the 2nd year in a row that the hummingbird has made a nest at James Richmond's house. And I don't know if you can appreciate how tiny that little nest is. And these little hummingbird friends, you could see the light bulb there, and a bee that is coming, I guess, to maybe show them how to fly. Now, they have now left the nest, and James was there to watch the whole thing. What a gift to have those creatures. Now, here's what a grown-up calliope hummingbird looks like. Isn't that a beautiful shot from Courtney Litwin, who has a knack for finding and taking beautiful photos of hummingbirds, and that is just so pretty on that purple salvia. All right, baby bear cub from Marty Stowe. She was driving around the road and spotted this little darling just sitting there. Mom was not far away, along with 2 other cubs. And when the mom saw this little baby bear sitting by the road and Marty driving by, she scolded the bear and collected it, and evidently was not aggressive, though, waved at Marty. And I'm sure Marty was a great distance away. And it's probably a good thing. You would not want to run into the next bear with her cubs. Mark Vogt, once again, finding the grizzlies in North Idaho. This always makes me a little nervous. He says this is a young, probably year-old sow grizzly, so a young'un, and she is trying to stay cool, walking carefully along that dam of sticks, but also getting a break in the water. Beautiful shot there. And I do know Mark is a great distance from this grizzly because he knows what he is doing. 104 degrees our high today. But I want to show you also our morning low was 72. 57 is our average high, or average low rather. We do have some cooler nights ahead. Our overnight lows back down in the 60s, but this line down here in the 50s is where our average overnight low is. So we are still going to have some hot nights ahead, but the hottest weather is now going to be to the south as we're getting a little more of a westerly flow over the inland northwest, and the heat dome and all of the warnings and watches that go along with it are sinking a little bit off to the south and east. And that is why we can enjoy the 90s rather than the triple digits and overnight lows once again in the 60s. It is an improvement. Kirsten.
It's definitely an improvement for people trying to sleep. Thank you, Chris. We do have an update for you on the teenager accused of killing this 13-year-old Jada Woods Johnson at a mall in Linwood. According to Como News, 16-year-old Samuel Giza has turned himself in and has pleaded not guilty to all charges, including murder.
All right, as we head to a break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The Tire Store for auto repairs, tires, and wheels. At the Tire Store, they'll let you split up your repair bill over a couple months. Get your car fixed today. ASC certified, and you can start an account with no credit check. Tire Store.
Frozen is Disney's latest hit Broadway musical. From the producer of The Lion King comes the show audiences and critics are melting for.
Coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts, July 24th through August 4th. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Considering selling your RV? R&R wants it. Tired of paying storage fees? R&R needs it. Just don't use it anymore? R&R will buy it. Due to a critical shortage of pre-owned RVs, R&R RV is currently paying our absolute top dollar for your used RV. Any year, any make, any model. Turn your RV into cash or flip it for a newer model. So if you no longer use it or want it, let R&R RV buy it. Visit the R&R RV Superstore in Liberty Lake or call Keith at 509-499-2601.
A huge part of many people's lives is debt, and it's just not something a lot of people like to talk about. A couple years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. During the healing process, I really accrued a lot more debt, and I knew I needed to find a solution. I went into BCU full of nerves and full of fear, and they helped me immensely. I realized the personal loan was the right option for me. These days, I am healthy, I have all my finances under control, and I'm a lot less stressed.
Looks like you need some kind of quick payment to settle this whole mess.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to those one call that's all guys.
We want to make sure you're actually taken care of after an accident like this.
One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
Life is an opportunity to grow, to feel, to excel. Life moves at its own pace, daring you to keep up. Life pushes you to be better and to go farther. Life has you here. We're just here to help.
Four News Now is brought to you by R&R RV.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, the story of a brave Washington man who saved 2 children from a stray firework and lost his hand in the process.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see what that's all about tonight at 11.
Yeah. It's so hot. I just can't stop thinking about how gross it is. Do I really have to go out there?
It's waiting for you.